Carthage and Monette. You'll like the way we do business. Tell a friend.
Get an 11% rebate from Menards and check that project off the list. Turn your tax refund into a new kitchen. Countertops are the center of the home, and Menards carries a great selection from elegant to everyday options with durability that can take you from crayons to calculus. Transform everyday spaces into gathering places with countertops from Menards. Get pre-cut stock laminate countertops on sale now, plus an 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
2 new ways to shop in Springfield. It's the grand opening of Slumberland Mattress Plus and our newly remodeled Slumberland Furniture. Come meet our sleep experts and enter to win a weekly mattress giveaway. Slumberland Mattress Plus and Slumberland Furniture in Springfield.
Well, every day this week we've had severe weather nearby or in the area, and today was no different. Even though it was quiet for most areas, there were some pockets of thunderstorm activity, severe thunderstorm activity. Storms that produced the largest hail so far this season. We had hail reported up in Miller County. We had hail reported in Howell and Oregon County. In fact, we've still had some threat of hail here over the last few hours in Oregon County with a storm that moved through. Thankfully, that activity has moved out, and it looks like we're in for quiet weather for the remainder of the night tonight. Now, the system that helped to generate today's isolated and widely scattered thunderstorm activity is now moving into Kentucky and Tennessee, where it's still producing rain and thunder, but it's moving away and it's out of our hair. Looking northwest, this is what we have to deal with tomorrow. A strong cold front that will slide south into the area by late afternoon. Now, this is a situation where you can see we've got a broad area covered by severe weather risk. But the risk isn't the same across the area. We have a 3 out of 5 or enhanced risk from Oklahoma all the way up to Wisconsin. This is where storms are going to initiate tomorrow afternoon. This is where many of these storms will be severe with all modes of severe weather possible. But what will happen is those individual storms and clusters of storms will start to line up. And then once that happens, we'll see a transition over to a mode of mainly wind and maybe those brief spin-ups that we've seen already this past week in the region. It also looks like as these storms drop southeast through the area, once they get to about I-44, they're going to start running into a lot of resistance. And I think we may see that line of thunderstorms quickly weaken once it gets south of I-44 late in the evening tomorrow night. So looking at our hour-by-hour forecast for tonight, partly cloudy skies, quiet night. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies to start off, and then it becomes mostly cloudy, but it stays quiet over most of the area throughout the day. The one spot where I think we could see storms spill in by late afternoon, places like Nevada and Stockton and Osceola and Warsaw, maybe up toward Versailles. This is also going to be an area that wave kind of moves out where additional storms, they're going to line up and they're going to push in. Severe weather will be possible. But by midnight tomorrow night, as the storms are crossing I-44, notice they do look less intense. And then as they drop south of I-44, they continue to weaken. So I think the bulk of the severe weather threat will be north of I-44, especially focused up toward Stockton Lake, Pomme de Terre, Truman, and those areas. This is also where the heaviest rainfall will likely occur. Very similar to last evening in areas from Jasper up to Bolivar. I think we could see a corridor of very heavy rainfall where flash flooding may be possible tomorrow evening. The rainfall amount should quickly drop off further south as those storms weaken. About 63 for a low tomorrow morning with an afternoon high up around 80 degrees. Winds are going to be gusty out of the southwest. Gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour possible. The chill moves in by Saturday morning, a morning low of 43 with a high of 58. Breezy winds throughout the day. Jacket weather, feeling fresh. And then on Sunday, we could have some patchy frost to start the day with an afternoon high of 68. Now, looking at next week, we shake off that chill, and we're going to find a fairly quiet week. But once we get to the end of next week, another trough has moved into the west, and that is going to bring storms back to the middle of the country. So at least until then, once we get past Friday night, we've got an extended stretch where we're going to be able to sleep okay at night, and we're going to be able to enjoy some nice, what will be by that point maybe late April weather. Temperatures warming back into the 50s next week with the lows, and then the highs warming back into the 70s.
We're starting off the next work week different than how we're ending this one,
Yeah.
for sure, and I
This
hope.
has
But
been-
even though the end of next work week could be the same.
Kind of a doozy. I mean, Monday through Friday, every day this week, there has been severe weather either nearby, very nearby, or in the area.
Yeah, it's definitely kept you busy this week. All right. Be sure to download our Ozarks First Weather app. You're going to need it as we get deeper into severe weather season. That's where you can get alerts sent straight to your phone on approaching storms or any severe weather that's in your area. You can also check out the current radar and look at the extended forecast. The push for a ceasefire in Iran continues to gain traction, with Israel now agreeing to have a ceasefire in Lebanon. Jesse Mitchell reports on efforts in Congress to come up with a permanent solution.
After direct negotiations in Washington earlier this week, Israel and Lebanon agreed to a 10-day ceasefire, a move that could pave the way for extending the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran.
We have two fundamental demands. First, the disarmament of Hezbollah. Second, a sustainable peace agreement. Peace through strength.
President Trump announced the agreement and said there are plans for a future meeting at the White House with the leaders of both countries.
There's a really good chance that that'll work out with Lebanon and Israel.
As for Iran, the Pentagon stands ready to resume the fight if the ceasefire falls apart.
We are reloading with more power than ever before, and better intelligence. Even more importantly, better intelligence than ever before.
For now, the U.S. Navy is keeping up the pressure by blocking ships traveling to and from Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz.
This blockade, we will use force.
Back in Washington Thursday, the House again narrowly rejected a resolution that would have limited President Trump's power to wage war with Iran, this time by just one vote.
Republicans in the House continue to serve as nothing more than a reckless rubber stamp for Donald Trump's extreme agenda, and it's shameful.
A similar measure in the Senate failed a day earlier. Jesse Mitchell, CBS News.
President Trump and Pope Leo at odds over the ongoing war in Iran, which Pope Leo has described as unjust. It's triggered a lengthy tweet from the president where he described the Pope as weak on crime. Pope Leo, meanwhile, continues to deliver a message of peace.
Woe to those who manipulate religion in the very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain.
The president has also since deleted a controversial AI-generated image on your screen now. Many think that depicted him as Jesus. The president insists that the first image was meant to display him as a doctor, not Jesus. A potential shakeup in the airline industry. 2 years after a failed merger with JetBlue, there are public reports that Spirit Airlines could be going under within days. The surging price of jet fuel has thrown into question Spirit Airplanes' plans to exit bankruptcy this summer and return to profitability. Spirit is still selling tickets and operating as scheduled for now, but if its creditors force a liquidation, it could force Spirit to halt operations with little notice. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. appearing at the first of 7 hearings he's set to attend on Capitol Hill in the coming days. Kennedy testified before 2 different House committees today about the Trump administration's 2027 budget. It includes a 12% cut in health services and a $5 billion cut to the National Institutes of Health. In the hearing, he was pressed about the impact of these cuts.
At the turn of the last century, scientists from around the world came to the United States because they were chased out of their countries in Europe. The actions you in this administration are taking are chasing American scientists away from this country.
Kennedy also defended the Trump administration's response to the growing measles outbreak, saying the U.S. is doing better than other countries like Mexico and Canada. Back here in Missouri, well, just across the border in Kansas, this is a live look at the Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. This upcoming race this weekend happening 1 month earlier than previous spring stops in Kansas the past few years. Right after the break, we're taking a look at one of the driver who's hit some speed bumps, but will be hitting the track this weekend.
Coming up tomorrow after Daybreak on Unscripted, we'll share how you can become a foster parent to dogs in need in our community with Have a Heart Rescue. And we're going to visit with our friends at 7 Brew about their newest location in Nixa.
And we'll try some amazing new menu items with our friends from Neighborhood Pizza Cafe. And we'll have a sneak peek preview of the new season of Farmer Wants a Wife on Fox. That and so much more tomorrow morning after Daybreak.
It's a celebration 100 years in the making. The National Route 66 Centennial Kickoff Celebration presented